Hello there. Welcome to Silo. Now it's a properly manky grey day. Cloudy, cold, drizzly, miserable. So let's just complete the set by talking about exercise, which I know will fill some people with dread. And if you're struggling to motivate yourself to exercise, especially this time of year, I totally get it. It's a really big ask. And it's kind of hard for me to try and cover these subjects. But I will say a lot of people have told me in the past that I must be really fit and really healthy, but it's not particularly something I find easy to do. And I basically have to calm myself into doing it a lot of the time. And one of the reasons they thought I was very fit was because I would cycle to work. And it's a good hour plus each way. So I'd be doing a couple of hours of cycling every day, plus a bunch of other things potentially. Go out for a walk at lunchtime to get the air, much as I'm doing now. I would maybe do a bunch of other things, but exercise is always something I've really struggled to motivate myself to do. The only way I've been able to get myself to do it is to kind of take advantage of my own personality traits, my own weaknesses, if you like, and turn them against me. And what I discovered was that I didn't really like running. I find it a bit dull, a bit repetitive. Didn't feel like I was making enough progress. I didn't mind it for short amounts, but I kind of preferred the cycling. So that's what I shifted to. And even with the cycling, it's dark in the winter. It's horrible weather most oftentimes. Really didn't feel that compelled to go out on the bike. But I knew I needed to get to work. I knew I needed to get some exercise done. And so, we've talked before about habit forming. I didn't need to get into the habit of cycling. I just had to get in the habit of putting my cycling gear on. I would get everything else ready the night before. Make sure my bags were packed, make sure all the clothes I needed for work were in there, make sure the food and lunches and whatever else I needed for the day were set up in there as well. And then once I got up in the morning, put the cycle gear on and head out. I was committed then, and I just knew I was just too stubborn to turn back. Once I was out on the bike, that was it. And then once you're going to work, I've got no other choice, I have to come back. And I found that was enough. That was that one push that I needed to do. The hard part wasn't even getting up in the morning. It was just getting into the habit of putting that cycling gear on. I couldn't be bothered to get changed back into work gear or, get out of the cycle gear and get into the other stuff, mess around. I knew that it would cost me more time. I knew that I'd end up late to work because even though it was quicker to drive, I was driving and then parking further away and walking. So the end result was I would be late to work unless I got on the bike and just got on with it. So that's what I did. I basically just conned myself into doing it. And that's it. Sometimes there's no other way. You've just got to fool yourself into doing the exercise. And if you do it through the hardest periods, when you're setting off in the dark, when the weather's rubbish, before you know it, when it starts to turn, when you get the lighter days, when your fitness improves, that enjoyment kind of sneaks up on you and you realise it's actually okay. So my recommendation is just to find those buttons, figure out the things that you need to do to trigger yourself, to fool yourself into doing it, and hopefully that'll get you started on the right track. And I hope that helps.